comment, like, and subscribe. Hey, good morning, YouTube. So today I'm going to show you how to fix a common problem with a Foxbody window. Just take your Foxbody, roll the window halfway down, grab it, and see if it moves. Look at that. That's a lot of movement left to right. Up and down is tight, left to right it moves. You can easily fix it with these little pop-in bushings here from late model restoration. There's the part number. The hardest part about this job is you got to take the door panel off and get down in there. While I'm in there, once you look at this door handle, somebody replaced this. This is an aftermarket door handle. I've never liked it because it kind of sticks out a little bit. And when you open it, it just doesn't feel correct. So what I've done is got a bunch of stuff from late model here. One of them is a brand new replacement handle. And I can choose to either use the rivets to put it back in or put some nuts and bolts on it. Not sure yet, but that's coming. And while I'm taking the interior apart, figured a good time for the door pull covers here. Gonna put those on. And I got some new screws here for the column and then for the tilt. My arm was kind of nasty, rusted, a little rust on it. I got a brand new for my tilt column. There. Here we go. Before you get started, here's the tools you're going to need. A pick to remove the little covers that hold the door handle on. Various amount of sockets, 10 or 11 millimeter, depending on what bolts are in yours. This is a Phillips screwdriver to remove some of the screws holding the panel on. And then this is for the Christmas tree. You put this in and you pop these off and it keeps from tearing your door panel up. First thing I like to do is go in here and take this little cover off where the mirror goes. Take that screw out. Easy enough. Pop that down. Then you take these off. Screw. Remove it. It's off. Then you remove the screws around your speakers here. See if there's anything else. Well, that looks good. And then we'll go ahead and pop these little covers off. I just use a little pick. Go in here like this. You just remove that out. That gives you access to the bolt that's in here. We'll take that one out and then we'll take this off. There we go. Those screws come out. You'll see these hold it in place. What I like to do is go in here and unplug these. Like that. Okay, and now we can take this up and out of the way. Set it down there. So then you have to look, see if there's any screws in this. Mine doesn't have any. So from there, we'll take our tool here and we'll go along and we'll start popping out. We'll look for the Christmas trees and we'll basically prise against those. Panels off. Any Christmas trees didn't come out, we'll go ahead and pull these out and stick them back in. And now you can see we can get in here where we can work. Now the problem is right in here. See this? When I move the window back and forth, those are the bushings that have just worn out and they keep it stable for the window to go up and down. There's some here and there's some under it. What I like to do is go ahead and roll the window all the way down. So take the connections and plug them back up here, turn on the key, lower the window all the way down. Then what you want to do is you want to undo this bolt or nut, and then there's one directly under the bottom. And what I also like to do is try to mark it just to see where it was lining up before. So when you go to put it back on, you should be real close. This doesn't necessarily pull straight out. Once the window's down, you want to put some in here and prise it. I'll use like a rubber hammer or something handle and twist it, just give me a little room. And then this shaft is going to pull out to allow us to get the bushings out. Now I'll take one off of here. Okay. Now that is loose, you'll see here, we've got to prise this out. The reason you want to prise it out, you got to get that stud to come by it. So give me a second, I'll get something. One step I didn't tell you, and I should have said this earlier, make sure you put a piece of tape right across here on the inside, because if you don't, you'll put a little scratch in your tent right here halfway. If you have no tent, it won't be a problem, but you will scratch your tent just a hair right here. Not noticeable to most people, but noticeable to me. So put a little piece of tape here, it'll just protect it when you go to slide the rod back in. All right, so I'm gonna take the rubber hammer I've got, put the handle in here, pull this back like that, twist it, and that gives me enough room for the stud to clear. And now you simply just work this out, and then you just pull it out just like that. Now part of what we want to do, we want to clean this off, because any drag is going to wear out our new bushing. It's going to make it hard to go up and down. You can tell there's a lot of wear and tear on this. We're going to clean this up with some stuff in a minute. But if you go back in here and look, we've got to get the window back up now so we can get to it. So now I've got to plug in the switches, and I've got to raise the window up. And what you want to do is hold your hand and support it up here, raise the window up so you can get to the bushings. All right, so here's the bushing. I can go in here and pop this out. Pretty nasty, but there it goes. Popped out, and look at it. That thing is wore out. And there's another one here, and I'll pop it out. Look at all that grease on my finger. So I'll go in here and I'll pop this one out. Now it's a little more stubborn. There it goes. And you can see it is wore out. So I'm going to pop the new ones in place, and then I'm going to clean up that rod, because look at that, it's gross. All right, it's all cleaned up now. Secret, get you a rag, towel, get you some brake clean, spray it, soak it, wipe it off real good. If any stubborn, really hard parts won't come off, take you a file and just run over it like this, and that'll take those off, and then go back and spray it, and then wipe it off. And you want to just run your hand across it, make sure it's smooth. If it's smooth all the way, then we're ready to put this back in once we put the bushings in. All right, another quick tip. These look the same, which is fine, but if you turn them over, you'll see one side has the little lip that holds it in place, see there? And the other side is smooth. The smooth side goes forward and back like this. The clip sides go, that's the front of the car to the right and the back of the car to the left. So if you're looking at the door like this, this is how they drop in, with the connection side that holds it in place on your left and your right. If you flip it, it's not going to be right. It's not going to match what came out from the factory. Just a little tip, make sure you put that in the exact same way, just to keep from having any problems. Now we're going to put these in the car. Okay, pretty easy, left and right. Slide that up here. Push that in. Done. Check this one, left and right. Slide it down in here. And there we go. So, pretty easy there. So now the actual culprit there is fixed. And then we have to put our shaft back in, which will again go from the top. So I'm going to manipulate this a little bit, figure out the best way if I want the window down to get that in or what. All right, so what you want to do is have your window down, hold it by hand and get it down, make sure it stays in the slots. Then you want to drop your rod in like this. Try to line it up with the hole, you can see that. And now I have to spread this out, so I'm gonna take two hands, spread this out and drop that in. And it's a little tricky in here when you're trying to slide it in and line the stud up at the bottom like that. Once you line it up, Try to be easy so you don't touch your glass. Slowly let this up while you're holding this and making sure the glass is straight. And now, before we get too far, that's about halfway. You see the bushings are intact, everything looks good. I've got to put my nuts back on here and line it up with the drawing I made there. We should be good to go. The bottom one doesn't move. You can tighten that up once you get this one where you want it. Once you got it where you want it, just tighten it up. Okay, that lines up. Tighten this one. Snug, but not uber tight. Okay, now we can test the window. Nice. I will tell you, it's a lot faster by cleaning that rod too. That noise is because I haven't greased it yet, so I'm going to grease the shaft and we should be good to go. You can take your tape off here. And then I'll go in and I'll spray some window cleaner and clean off my handprints. But if you look now, the way it moves is significantly tighter than it was. So that makes a big difference. Hope you like the video. One thing I want to tell you, I finished up the window and got it to quit making noise when it rolls up and down. I'd put some bearing grease basically on the shaft and it wasn't good enough. So I added this dry Teflon lube and it works really well. Put it on there, the window's super quiet now, rolls up and down very smoothly. Just a tip when you're finishing up the window install. Love a finished product that works out exactly as expected. All right, all cleaned up and detailed. All the projects have been completed. I just test drove it. It handles like a champ. It really needed those new shocks on the back. Not only does it handle better, but it actually raised the back of the car up a solid ½ inch, which is great because it gives it that rake, a little bit of rake. So I like it. But no, it handles great. Stops, runs, does everything the way it's supposed to. And I've cut down on a bunch of rattles in it now. But the window rolls up and down nice. The door handle works great. We just need to add some more power under the hood in a future episode. Stay tuned.